Hello, y'all. Tawana Michelle here, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Coach and Mental Health Therapist. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the I'm not enough complex and how that affects your relationships. So if you are watching this video and you struggle with feeling like you are not enough, you are not good enough, then you probably are having problems in your romantic relationships, probably all relationships. But in this video, I'm going to really just focus on how not feeling good enough can affect your romantic relationships and some of the patterns that you may be seeing. I am sitting outside today enjoying nature, having some coffee. This is one of the things that I like to do in the mornings. It's just part of my quiet time. I like to come out here, just take in the fresh air. I like to meditate. I like to journal, just do some self-reflection. And I decided, well, I think I'll make my video out here today. So I'm happy about doing that. But let me get back to the topic. The I'm not enough complex. This is when you have that core belief, and sometimes you may not be conscious of it. It might be a subconscious thing. Our subconscious beliefs is really what kind of drives our behavior. So sometimes we'll see these people. I know I talk about narcissism a lot on my channel. Sometimes we'll see these really narcissistic, overly confident, even arrogant type of people, and they'll have this kind of air about themselves as if, they think they're better than everyone, they're superior, they're so good, they're so great. Well, that's on the surface level, that's on a conscious level. That's actually been created to compensate for their lack of actually feeling secure with themselves and feeling good enough. So you may not be aware that you have these beliefs, but if you are aware that you have these beliefs, even if you're not, after I talk about how some of these beliefs may affect your relationships, then it may give you more awareness. And if you are aware that you struggle with feeling like you are enough, just feeling like you're good enough, just as you are, then that is going to cause some issues with how you relate to others, and especially how you relate in relationships. So one of the first things that you might notice is that you will likely have a pattern of unhealthy and unsuccessful relationships, multiple relationship failures. Now, this does not mean you are a failure. It just means your relationships have failed. It also does not mean you are 100% responsible for that, which is a part of why you're having relationship failures. So when we don't feel like we are enough, we typically choose partners who are not healthy. We also choose partners who are insecure. We choose partners who may be toxic. We may choose partners who mistreat us, disrespect us, abuse us. And we may allow and tolerate those behaviors because we don't feel we're worthy of anything better. We don't feel like we deserve anything better. And so we may choose someone who we think is kind of maybe on our level. And that's a matter of perception, how you see yourself. So if I see myself as not really being that great, I don't think any really good guy of any value is going to want me, then I might feel like I just have to settle for whatever I can get. And, if I settle for whatever I can get, then I might just have to accept whatever they dish out. However they treat me, at least I have someone. See, the I'm not enough complex leads you to the at least I have. And I'm not talking about gratitude. We want to practice gratitude. I want to be able to look at what I have versus what I don't have. But I'm talking about feeling that you have to settle for something because you don't think that you deserve any better. And that's what I'm talking about when I say the at least I have, and how that can be a damaging thing for someone who doesn't feel good enough, because it's at least I have a man even though he doesn't treat me right. at least he is nice to me sometimes, even though most of the time he isn't. At least I have someone, and they're not that great anyway, so they're likely to stay with me and not leave me, which is a reason we may overlook those who may be more worthy of us, who may be more capable of having healthy romantic relationships. The good guys, the guys who are not toxic, the guys who are going to treat you well, the guys who are kind and nurturing and loving. We may overlook them because not only may we feel like we don't deserve them, but then you start to think, well, they're going to see me for who I really am, and they're not going to want me. They're going to leave me anyway. So you have this fear of rejection, this fear of abandonment, this fear of being hurt in romantic relationships. And you may have that in all relationships. But if you're with a partner who you think on a subconscious level, you really don't deserve this person because they're better than me, then that fear is going to be predominant in your relationship, and it may lead to some sabotage of your relationship. You may create drama, you may create problems, you may start arguments and fights. You may leave this person when you're having problems rather than trying to work out conflicts in your relationship. You may abandon this person before they can abandon you. If you happen to find yourself in a healthy relationship with someone, then you may doubt how they really feel about you. You may question their love for you. You may find yourself pushing them away. It's all driven by fear. It's all driven by the core belief that I am not enough. This belief creates fear in relationships. Fear that, number one, I'm going to be found out, which is also related to the imposter syndrome, right? Because I'm not enough, which that's related to a different core belief, no one's going to love me. The fear that no one's going to really love me anyway. The fear that I'm going to be rejected. The fear that I'm going to be abandoned. So because I have all of these fears related to not being enough just as I am, then I am going to really struggle in relationships. I'm going to choose unhealthy partners. I'm going to stay in relationships that are not good for me. I'm going to turn down potential relationships with healthy partners. And if I do happen to get in those relationships, I'm going to sabotage them. Another problem that you may have in relationships, if you have the I'm not enough complex, is that you actually may struggle with some infidelity and cheating. Why? Because we don't feel that we are enough as we are, right? If we have that complex. And so you're constantly kind of seeking that validation from someone else. So interestingly, you may find yourself in a relationship, a toxic relationship with a partner who cannot meet your emotional needs, who, it's not anyone's responsibility, but let me say that, but when you don't have a sense of self, you look outside the self to get the needs met. And we tend to look at getting that from our romantic partners, and the type of partners we choose cannot give us that. And so we're always searching it. And so you may find yourself going outside of the relationship to get that validation that you need, that you are enough. And so a part of it is still seeking the validation, still seeking the approval, still trying to find someone to make you feel like you're enough since you don't feel it yourself. And then another part of that is also related to that fear of abandonment and the need to sabotage that relationship. Because I think ultimately, regardless of if it's a healthy partner or not, they're going to leave me, they're going to reject me, they're going to hurt me in some way. So I need to stay on top of this. I need to hurt them before they hurt me. I need to have someone else. I need to have something there, because if I'm left all alone, then that is only going to reinforce that belief that I'm not enough to a degree that will feel unmanageable. and to a degree that will be so devastatingly painful that I feel like I have to avoid it. I'm desperate to do anything to avoid that feeling when you have that I'm not enough complex. And when you're in these relationships and you feel like you're not enough, you need this constant reassurance and reinforcement. You need your partner constantly showing you, constantly telling you, constantly doing things that make you feel good about yourself, which is a problem. And this is related to codependency. So many layers here, y'all. And I can't even get into all of that right now because I don't want to make this video too long and too complicated. And I have other videos related to similar topics that I can link. But it's really about trying to seek approval from someone else. You may find yourself going from relationship to relationship, just trying to find that. You're not going to find it. The answer is within. You are what you're searching for. But, I'm just talking about right now, for the purpose of this video, some of the problems that you'll find in relationships until you get to that point where everything that you are looking for, you are able to find in you. And the last thing that I'm going to mention about how the I'm not enough complex affects your relationships is that you have a hard time just relaxing in relationships and enjoying the moment and enjoying the relationship. You're in a constant state of fear and panic and survival. This is trauma-based, of course. This is all rooted in trauma. This is all rooted in not getting what you needed as a child from primary caregivers. This is not your fault. This is not meant to be blaming, judging, a fault-based video. It's meant to increase your insight and your awareness into the problems you're having in your relationships as a result of not feeling good enough. But you struggle with being able to enjoy your relationships. If I'm constantly waiting on the other shoe to fall, if I'm constantly waiting on the next bad thing to happen, if I'm constantly fearing this person is gonna, find out who I am and not really want to be with me, this person is gonna abandon me, this person is gonna reject me, you can't enjoy a relationship like that. And like I said, you're gonna do things to create those things. Again, this isn't about blaming you, but we create the circumstances in our lives that reinforce our own subconscious core beliefs. So if I believe I'm not enough anyway, then I'm going to do things in my life or notice things in my life that are going to reinforce that. And that's what happens. What we tell ourselves subconsciously or consciously, we believe it. And because that is our reality, we're going to do things that is going to, confirm that. We are going to choose partners that will confirm and reinforce that. So this really starts with getting in touch with what those core beliefs are that you have about yourself. And I gave you one. There are many. But the belief that I'm not enough, I am not good enough, trauma-based, unhealthy core belief, damages relationships, not just relationships, other areas of your life as well. So think about if you struggle with that belief and how it has affected your relationships. Think about other negative or unhelpful core beliefs you may have and how they may have affected your relationships. So that's all I have. Let me know, guys, what your thoughts are about this topic. Leave it in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That really does help my channel. Share this video out with those who you think may benefit from it. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? I'd love to have you be a part of our community. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, take care. Bye.